Hi, it's Monday, June 6th, 2016. Monaco64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian thinking. I'm talking about today at the moment about Chinese wall. And a Chinese wall, according to Wikipedia, is a business term describing an information barrier with an organization that was erected to prevent exchanges or communications that could lead to conflicts of interest. So, for example, investment bank A has a department that advises big companies on mergers and acquisitions. And then they have also a department that only does trading in the stock market. And so the trading desk cannot be in direct communication with the M&A desk, because let's say the M&A desk is working on a deal for a company to be bought out. They can't go to the traders and say, look, this company is going to be bought out, buy the stock. So that's what the Chinese wall is there for. And the reason I'm talking about Chinese walls is that there's an interesting article that Zero Hedge caught on to that was reported in the ft.com. And Zero Hedge asks this question, and I quote, "Pure coincidence? Massive McKinsey managed hedge funds has made money in 24 of the last 25 years. And why is this important? Well, because McKinsey is, it's one of the most influential advisors, like, to multinational company. They're like one of, I think Boston Consulting Group is another one. So they're massively well known to advise large corporations on mergers and acquisitions and restructuring. And they've been running a hedge fund for the last 25 years. And, that raises questions, even though, the article says that they respect the Chinese walls and that there's no conflict of interest, because even though, they can invest in companies that they advise, that's within the rules of the UK and US regulators. Apparently, they pride themselves in having very high ethical standards, and they have a Chinese wall, so there's no problem. So quite an interesting story, and the other point that Zero Hedge notes, and I quote, it says, MIO, which is McKinsey Investment Office, is overseen by a 12-member board of the consultants' most senior partners and advisors. And the partners do not disclose their work at the fund in their corporate biographies and are not named in MIO's website. MIO says the board delegates investment decisions to the division's management, adding it had a rigorous policy to avoid conflicts of interest. So we have to take their word for it. So it's quite, it doesn't smell good, in my opinion. I'm not saying, they did use inside information, but it's suspect, And I wonder if the SEC in the US or the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, are going to investigate these guys. Because it would be very easy to find out, if they have been using, information through the Chinese wall. You just have to check when they made investments and what kind of advisory work they were doing at the time. It would be very easy to match up, but I doubt that the SEC and the FCA would do that. The SEC and the FCA there have a very poor history of doing good regulatory work for things that matter. There's the Madoff story. There's even a book called J.P. Madoff. J.P. Morgan was the banker to Madoff, and they're pumping billions in cash Madoff into their J.P. Morgan account, and they never bought any stocks. You know, look at this book, JP Madoff. I'll put the link below. They never bought any stocks. So JP Morgan, you know, looking at Madoff investment advisors, you know, they've only got cash with JP Morgan. They're a banker, and they're not buying any shares or any commodities or any investment for their clients. And they did that for, you know, decades. And there was never any questions asked by JP Morgan. You know, they could have asked Madoff Investments, you know, what are you doing with this money? You know, you're supposed to be investing for your clients. You've got great returns, but you've got it all in cash. So yeah, it will be interesting to see. You know, my question is, how thick is McKinsey's Chinese wall? Very interesting story. So if you enjoyed my video and you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video as well, and share it with friends, colleagues, family, anyone who you think would enjoy this video. Thank you. Take care. Bye.